Hi there, and welcome to Andy Robinson RC, and cheers for checking out the channel today. Okay, so on this episode we have the brand new Kyoshos Dirtmaster Ultima SB. I say this literally hit the UK hobby shops in the last sort of week or so there's been plenty of these getting built up. Mine's all finished now, we've got the electrics in, and we're going to be giving this a run today. Okay, so I'm going to start with the body shell. Some of you may have seen this already done because this is the first thing I did. Painted up this a couple of days ago now, and if anyone's interested, I used iridescent pink and gold flip paint first, like I did on the Tamiya black egress that we did, and then after that I used, because what I had in stock, I decided to go with this Tamiya PS4 Tamiya blue, so put that on as well, so you get this sort of dark blue, and then it's sort of in the light you get this sort of goldy pink sort of edge to it, which I think you can see. So a little different. Box art pretty much for the decals, although I have put a few extras in different places. But yeah, overall pretty pleased with how it's turned out. So what we do is, before we run this, I'm just going to take the body off, and you can see inside it and what we've used for the car, and I'm going to mention a few things that I thought about the build. So let's take the shell off. Okay. Right. So let's put that there and keep that from blowing away. Okay, so as you can see, that is the chassis there. So on the whole, it was reflecting back now after building it, I did enjoy it in the end. The biggest frustration with this, and it has been pointed out by quite a few people who have had this kit and done reviews on it, is the amount of plastic shims to build it. It was really irritating, and the amount of plastic burrs you have to cut off everything. Now I know you get that on a lot of Tamiya kits, but this just seemed to be non-stop. Every single plastic washer cut the burrs off and everything else. It just really frustrated me. So I didn't like that about the build. Yes, the instructions are a little vague, however I didn't struggle too much with that. Now maybe that's because I knew it was going to be like that, but yeah, plastics are great. I'm going to say that the Genova plastics, I think, have the edge on this. Bloody loud thing. So yeah, I think the Genova's plastics have got the edge. Still though, really nice quality. I'll tell you what I did like about this, which I've struggled sometimes, is all the hex head screws and fitments screwed into the plastics. Lovely, I managed it, no problem. That for me can be a particular problem when building cars. I struggle with my arms and things, so that I loved. Gearbox went together nicely. I like the diff on it, the gear diff. Get plenty of grease to use, so I liked all that. And yeah, shocks. Do watch these collars when you're building the shocks. They don't cross thread. If you get that wrong, it can be a nightmare to do, so be careful with them. If you do it properly, they will just turn nice and freely, but make sure you get them lined up, and that can be tricky. I do think the Kyoshos plastic shocks are actually slightly better than the Genova ones. I've had trouble with mine leaking. They're not too bad, but I think the Kyoshos ones are slightly better. Also, a top tip: on the Kyoshos you get the adjustable collars on these. Genova ones you don't. But if you want to know, setting your ride out, how many turns you do, I put a little white mark on mine next to where the bleed cap is, and that means every time I turn it, I know how many turns I've done. So a little tip there for you if you're playing around with ride heights. Right, so what we're going to do is, enough about that, we're going to get this going. And then because I brought my Genova out with me, we're going to take that around and see what it's like at the same time. Now the Genova is still set up from a bit of a race I did indoors, so I haven't used it since. So it's not ideal for on here, but it's a bit tough. But the main focus is I want to see what this Dirtmaster's like. Electric wise, we've got an E289 high torque servo in there. I've got a brand new 1080 Hobby Wing ESC, and it's the Generation 2 version. Won't affect anything really for using it in things like this. It is more for crawling, the differences, but I might do a little separate video on the differences between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2. And I've just got a basic remote for now that I just wanted to shove in here. Motor wise, I also put an E289 modified 15 turn in, so we'll see how that performs. And yeah, let's give this a bit of a blast. Steering's nice and responsive, so let's see what it's like. Dial back my steering dual rate, actually it's a bit much on here. Just kicked all the gravel at my lad's car. Yeah, get out of the way. I mean, obviously we're on loose ground, but it is quite responsive. I've not set up the slipper clutch or anything. This is exactly out the box, so I'd probably want to tighten the slipper clutch ever so slightly, but it's not too bad. It's not a million miles off on here at all. Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. Yeah, nice and responsive. Much shorter, well I say much, it's a shorter wheelbase than the Genova as well, so it should feel a little more responsive, where the Genova should be a bit more planted. Well, yeah, I mean, it's driving nice. I think, yeah, where I've chosen to run this, probably a little bit too rocky, but you know, you've got to go with what you can work with. Ooh. See what I mean? Commentate the skirts there. I don't know if it was, but it looked like I hit that grid. I'm not sure, but yeah. So generally, I wouldn't run it on as rough as this, and I've got the ground clearance set slightly, quite high really. Mind you, it's called the Dirtmaster, not the Gravel Master. So. It's race night for me as well at our local club, so I might even throw this down on the track. Yeah, I've done it again. I might throw this down on the track, see what it's like. In-box, you know, kit box settings, no adjustment to it. Just give it a bit of a drive. So also as well, as I found out earlier, remember to glue your tyres on this. They are super soft and they just don't stay on the rim. So I nearly made that fatal error this morning when we came out to film, but it peed it down on us, so we had to go. And I remembered I hadn't glued my tyres. Well, yeah, suspension's working quite nicely. Maybe it should be a little tiny bit softer on here. The oil I had was just what I had lying around, and I think I've got 70 weight oil in the front and 60 weight in the rear, so maybe a little softer would have been better, but to be honest it isn't too bad at all. So there you go, that is the Dirtmaster from Kyoshos. Now what we're going to do is, while we're here, as I said, I'm going to get the Genova out a minute, and we can see this going. I just realised the steering servo in this is nowhere near as good as what's in the Kyoshos. It's just one I had at the time, but we'll give it a bit of a go. Now, turns, this should probably be a bit quicker. It's running brushless, So don't take the speed into consideration. But yeah, so this is the Genova. And I say, yeah. Again, this has got even thicker oil in it from running it on the carpets. And but saying that, it does feel more stable because, as I said, it's got longer wheelbase, so it's not quite as responsive steering-wise. But you know, that's nothing that tuning won't solve. But yeah, so it's difficult to decide which one is better, the Genova or the Dirtmaster. Now, I really like the Genova, but I think there's probably not much in it. I know a few people have said that. There's pros and cons with each. Bit rough over there, isn't it? Yeah. I think this is sitting a little lower than the Dirtmaster as well. But, you know, I couldn't be bothered fiddling around with all the settings, to be honest. You can see it's got harder oil in it, it's just sort of bouncing over the ground rather than absorbing the bumps. So as I said, if both were set up correctly, I don't think there's going to be much in it. However, this, with it being a bit of a longer wheelbase and whatnot, it does accelerate a lot. It's you know, more stability in it when it's accelerating, and maybe the slipper is set a bit better. Yeah, it's cool though. Yeah. Right, let's bring this one in. So there you go, you get to see both sort of side to side. Now I know it isn't an exact comparison because they haven't got the same motors in as each other. They've not got, you know, the same setup that's out the box that isn't, and that's been raced in carpet and all that nonsense. But I just wanted to bring them both out because these buggies are generally considered as competitors for each other, I suppose. Now on that note, you may see here there's another buggy. Now this is my lad's very used RC10 RB10. Now I just wanted to say that this came out in 2021. That came out in 2022, and that is a 2023 buggy. Now, you know, we were saying this was when this came out, the Genova, it was a retro buggy with vintage styling, modern plastics and all that. Actually, Team Associated beat both of them to the market, in my opinion, with this RB10 here. And I thought I'd just bring it out, just in case you're not aware of it. Now this came as a ready to run, so it was dearer than both of these kits. These are about the £200 mark, thereabouts. This was 300. Now, but you do get brushless setup in this, all the radio gear, alloy shocks and everything. So, but I think RC10 beat them both to the market. So, cheers. So it's just the car coming behind us. Anyway, I just thought I'd point that out and see it. All the videos for these, the RC10, the Genova, I shall put into the video description for this one. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed seeing both buggies in action. Now, before I go, ginormous, huge thanks to Inside Line Models for sponsoring this video. As you can see, they're on the side of the car there. Links into the description where you can visit their website and see what awesome cars and accessories they have. But yeah, massive thanks to Inside Line Models for sponsoring this video, sorting out all the electrics for us, and you know, making sure I could get the car and build it up for you. So there you go. Cheers guys, much appreciated. Right, okay. So we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget, we've got the Kyoshos Optimum Mid Coswork edition to do soon. I've also got my blockhead motors Tamiya Grasshopper that I've been working on, that's almost done as well, so we'll be doing a video on that. Right, I'm going now. I've got other stuff to do. I've got to get ready for racing tonight. So I'll see you soon. Look after yourselves. Take care. And we'll see you on the next one. See ya.